Sometimes the solutions stare us right in the face. On today's episode, I talk about one solution that solved my problem when the van isn't in use. Hopefully, it'll trigger you to hopefully and probably do the same. Well, this is a non road trip day. I just wanted to bring you into the van and just have a brief conversation about working while on the road. The van, what I've discovered, is a wonderful place that can act as a studio away from my home base. And it's a small space that is really great with sound, especially if you're doing podcasting or doing interviews. It's self-contained in here, and I love it. And there's always something going on around me, which is pretty cool. If I have to block out the background scenery, I just simply put up my green screen and project whatever on the screen behind me. But it's a great space to work from. I do some of my client coaching calls from here, which is really cool as long as I have internet access. Internet access is quite detrimental to the work that I do, because everything I do is coming across either different websites or meeting spaces or Zoom for doing coaching calls and such, and client meetings. So having access to internet is important. And during the times that I'm out of internet range, I'm down. So I consider that to be my non-working days, because I know I'm going someplace that will not have internet access. And there are a lot of places on this island, once you leave a particular part of the city area, there's nothing. Actually, sometimes it roams right into the American space because we're so close to the American border. So to me, it's just a reason not to do anything and to have a good time and relax, because, well, I am not plugged in to the rest of the social world. But I will be dealing with that soon, because it can't always be that way, especially if I'm on a road trip for an extended period of time, which I'm planning, where I'm going to be gone for weeks at a time. I still want to need and want to be plugged in to the rest of the world. So Starlink is something that I will be bringing online. I think there's a little bit of a wait time for that, but if you Google Starlink, you'll see that's the satellite hookah that you can get to place on your vehicle, or a lot of the RVs have them now as well, but I see people with them. And as long as you're not in a heavily dense wooded area and you can find north, you'll be able to at least get some type of internet access for your needs. But to me, for now, that's my excuse. Sorry, I have no internet access, so I can't talk to you for 2 or 3 days. And that's when the shoulders come down and I get to just do the back to nature thing, my natural mojo, part of what I do. For myself, I have to get filled up first before I'm able to be highly effective for those that I work with. And that's the important part. I lead the way by doing first, and then I'm able to teach from a place of knowledge and wisdom and experience for the most part. So I just wanted to tell you that for those of you that have a van that may not move for any length of time, consider turning it into a home office and studio. You can work quite comfortably from here. For those of you that don't have such big types of vehicles like this, like these tiny mobile homes, you can use your vehicle. Why not bring your laptop in and cozy up in your back seat and put on a hotspot if you have to, and do your calls or do some creative work and or writing or reading from the comfort of your vehicle. Even put up some of those blackout screens on the vehicle if you have to, so everyone's not peering in at you to see what you're doing. This van at nighttime, when I'm out, has all of the different types of blackout screens that go up on the various windows, so no one can see in, which is pretty cool. So you'll be walking by this vehicle and you can't see the fact that I'm using the bathroom or cooking or whatever it is that I'm doing in here, so which is really cool. So that's it. I just wanted to bring you in really briefly to talk about their proponents of working in this mobile studio. It's a wonderful thing, and the more that I work from here, the more gadgetry I recognize that I need to bring in, not because I need to or have to, because I just want to make it more accessible to do really good creative work. So the laptop that is I call it the road trip laptop, the road trip Mac, because I'm not taking the big screen Mac off of my desk to travel, although I know people can because they have travel cases, but I would rather just have the laptop version of it. And all the different ways that the two computers can talk and access each other, it's such a valuable thing, and I'll talk more about those systems that you can use. Zapier is one of those programs that I use to connect everything up. I don't have an iPhone. I use an Android, so that's not part of the iOS operating system, which is fine. I don't really need to have my phone to be an iOS, but the Apple laptop and the Mac at home is my office. It's how I roll, and it's been quite efficient and proficient for me to do my business, keep in touch with clients, and to do amazing creative work. And I'm doing some more things coming down the line. I'm not going to talk about that right now because this is about the van, but for those that are doing the van life, and I also want to talk about that real briefly too. Let me move the seat about. A lot of people might think, well, you're not really a true van lifer, Pamela, because you are only out on the road on the weekends. Yes, that's true. I'm only out here on the weekends for now. There are times where I do longer road trips, 1 and 2 weeks, and I'm planning some epic road trips that are going to take me away from home for a couple of months or more at a time. But to me, I'm still van lifing it because I'm using the vehicle all the time. The van is always on the road all the time. No, I'm not living in it 24/7 like some people either have to or have made a choice to, but I still consider myself part of the van lifestyle. Yes, even with my bling, that's just how I happen to roll. No need to be out in the backcountry or in a van and still can't, pretty things up a bit. I'm wearing my jeans and my boots, but on top, because the camera is on when I'm dealing with clients and such, that's how I roll. But consider it. Consider getting yourself in a mobile space and working from there. There's no reason that you can't do that and work with what little you have. Some people have no choice but to work from their van because that's the state of affairs for them, and they still manage to do creative work. Read Tyler Perry's story, read J.K. Rowling's story, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of others that we don't really know their name, and they're not a household name, but have had to use whatever they had in their hand to create from that space. We don't have to have a state-of-the-art office and it's 3,000 square feet studio or anything like that to do our work. I'm doing my work and on the passenger's side because it's the seat that flips around so I can face that way and not frontward to do my work. And I have this sort of lagoon table that shifts into a zillion positions to do what I need to do and work how I need to work. So that's my little intro into today's conversation about studio work and creative work while van lifing. We'll see you again soon.